If you feel drained all the time, it may not be because life is too hard. It may be because too many people have access to you, your time, your energy, your attention, your peace. And the dangerous part is this usually doesn't happen all at once. It happens one small yes at a time. One favor, one call, one invitation, one sure, no problem. When your entire body already knows the answer is no. In this video, I want to talk about the art of rejection. How do we know what deserves a no? What kind of people, habits, or opportunity you should stop saying yes to? And how to say no clearly without sounding cruel, cold, or guilty. Because sometimes the reason you feel scattered is not because you need better time management. It's because too much of your life belongs to other people. Let me give you an example. It's the end of the day. You're finally about to rest. Then someone messages you. Can I ask you something really quick? And already, you know, it's never really quick, but you say yes anyway. And now, 45 minutes later, you're still there, still replying, still hoping, still helping, still being nice. And the whole time, part of you is thinking, I didn't want to do this. That's one of the clearest signs that you're not saying yes out of generosity. You're saying yes out of guilt. And guilt is a terrible manager of your energy. That's why saying no matters. Not because you want to push people away, but because every yes costs something. It costs time. It costs focus. It costs emotional bandwidth. And sometimes it costs self-respect. A lot of people think saying no is rejection, but very often saying no is protection. You're protecting your attention. You're protecting your peace. You're protecting your real life from getting built by random urgency. And that's important. Because if you don't decide what gets access to you, the world will decide for you. And the world will happily keep you busy with things that has nothing to do with who you want to become. Tim Ferriss asks a beautiful question. What have you become better at saying no to? I love that question because it reminds us that growth is not only about what you add. It's also about what you stop allowing. Sometimes your life gets better, not because you found a better opportunity, but because you finally stopped saying yes to the wrong ones. So, what do you need to start saying no to? First, people who drain you. And I don't just mean the obvious toxic people. I mean, they're the people who leave you feeling heavy. People who expect access to you without caring what it costs you. People who always arrive with urgency. People who call only when they need something. People who make you feel emotionally tired and still ask for more. Here's a small example. You see their name pop up on your phone, and before you answer, your body tightens. That tells you something. Your body is not being dramatic, it's being honest. Not everyone who wants access to you deserves access to you. That is not cruelty. That is discernment. Second, say no to opportunities that look good but do not fit. This one is sneaky because the biggest danger in life is not always the obvious bad choice. It's often the decent one, the flattering one, the interesting one, the one that makes you think, well, maybe I should. Maybe it's a collaboration, maybe it's a side project, maybe it's an event you don't ever want to go to, but it seems good for networking. So you say yes. Then that entire week changes around. Now your energy is split. Your real priorities gets pushed back. And suddenly, something that was never truly right for you is taking up a real part of your life. That is why good can be dangerous. Not every good option is your option. Third, say no to habits that are leaking your energy every day. Checking your phone constantly, replying too fast, feeling like every message needing your answer right now. Over-explaining yourself, saying yes on the spot because silence feels uncomfortable. These habits seem small, but together they train you to live reactively. A reactive life is a scattered life. A lot of people are not exhausted because they're doing a lot of meaningful work. They're exhausted because they're available to too much noise. Let me give you another example. You sit down to do one important thing, just one. And before you begin, you check on message, then another, then a notification, then someone asks for something, then your attention is gone. 20 minutes later, you haven't started. That is how energy gets fragmented. Not through one giant disaster, through constant interruption. Fourth, say no to old identities. This might be the deepest one. You may need to say no to being the person who's always available, the person who fixes everything, the person who keeps the peace, the person who does not disappoint anyone, the person who thinks being needed is the same thing as being loved. Because sometimes what drains you is not just other people. It is the role you keep agreeing to play. And if that role no longer fits, you are allowed to stop performing. So how do you know when something deserves a no? Let's make this practical. The first is the energy test. When you think about saying yes, do you think about open and clear? Or do you feel heavy, resistant, irritated, and tired? Your body actually knows first. The second is the resentment test. If the answer is yes, that yes is probably not honest. Third is the alignment test. Does this support what matters most in your life right now? Not in theory, not some fantasy version of yourself, right now, this season. Because something can be a good opportunity and still be wrong for your current life. The fourth is the truth test. I love this one. If nobody got upset, nobody judged you, if you did not have to explain yourself, would you still say yes? That question cuts through so much noises. And here's a simple rule. If this is not a strong yes, then it's a no. You need to feel like it's hell yeah. I want to do this. I want to go see that person. I want to go on that date. I want to go to that meeting. I want to go to that event. Hell yes. I can't wait to be there. That should be a yes. Other than that, should all be no. Sometimes it can be scary, but think about how much of your time, energy, focus, attention get lost in all of those small yes. Now, let's go to the part people usually needs the most. How do you actually say no? Well, the good thing is you don't actually have to be harsh. You don't need to be dramatic. You just need to be clear. Here's a few simple examples. Thank you for thinking about me, but I'm not available for that. I appreciate the invitation, but I'm going to pass. I can't commit to that right now. That doesn't work for me. Or I'm keeping my time and energy very protected right now. That's enough, really. A respectful no doesn't need a long explanation. Sometimes the more you explain, the more you invite negotiation. And when people feel guilty, they often over-explain. They don't say no. They write a short novel. You don't need that. Short is clear. Clear is kind. Another important thing. Don't answer too fast. A lot of bad yes happens in the moment. You want to be agreeable. You don't want things to get awkward. So you say yes before you even checked in with yourself. Give yourself space. Say, let me think about that. Let me check my schedule. I will get back to you. That pause protects you. It gives you a moment to answer from truth instead of pressure. And one of the smartest things you can do is stop relying on mood and start using policy. Policies make life easier. I don't commit on the spot. I don't take unscheduled calls. I protect my mornings for focused work. I'm not saying yes to things that don't align with my current priorities. When something becomes a policy, you stop redeciding it every time. That saves so much energy. Now, why is all of this so hard? Because for many people, saying no does not seem like a simple task. It feels like danger. It feels foreign. It feels like you're disappointing someone. It feels like conflict. It feels like losing approval. It feels like becoming the selfish one. If you've spent years learning that being good means being agreeable, then saying no can feel deeply uncomfortable. But discomfort does not always mean you're wrong. Sometimes discomfort is just the feeling of breaking the old pattern. Some people only likes the version of you that is easy to access. And when you start being more clearer, more honest, more selective, they may not like it. They may call you distant. They may call you selfish. They may say you've changed. Maybe you have. Maybe you've changed from someone who abandoned themselves quietly into someone who finally protects their life. That is not selfish. That is growth. You are not there to be endlessly available. You are not there to make everyone comfortable. You are not here to be endlessly available. You're not here to make everyone comfortable. You're not here to give your best energy away to every request that arrives. You are here to build a life that is aligned, and that requires rejection. If you want focus, you have to reject distraction. If you want peace, you have to reject chaos. If you want meaningful work, you have to reject random demands on your attention. If you want a powerful yes, it needs the support of a lot of clean no's. Because your yes only has meaning when your no exists. Otherwise, you're not choosing, you're just reacting. So if your life feels scattered right now, the answer may not be to do more. It may be to reject more, to stop negotiating against yourself, to stop saying yes out of guilt, to stop giving access so easily, to stop giving your attention away to things that don't deserve it. Because every clean no gives something back to you. It gives you time back. It gives your energy back. It gives your clarity back. It gives you self-trust back. And sometimes it gives you your life back. So here's the takeaway. Don't judge your no by how uncomfortable it feels in the moment. Judge it by what it protects. If it protects your peace, your focus, your truth, your health, your priorities, then it may be the most loving things you can say. Not just to other people, but to yourself. If you do find this video helpful, can you consider to subscribe to me, like the video, comment on the video, share, hit the notification, so next time I have something new coming up, you can be notified. My best wishes to you all.